Hello to everyone joining. Welcome to the Xero app speed dating. I can see everybody's jumping in now, so I'll give you a couple of minutes for Zoom to let everybody in. And while you're joining, I'd love you to drop a note in the chat to let me know where you're joining us from and if you have already put your Christmas tree up. I have not put my tree up. And I probably won't get it done until December 24th. So not yet for Shauna. Good. It looks like we're all normal. Christmas tree, 12th of December. That feels like good timing. That's pretty. We have one pop-up tree. Oh, there we go, Karen. Not yet. I know it always feels like, you know, it's up and then it's down too quickly. So I'm not opposed to a November Christmas tree. It does get maximum bang for buck putting it up early. I think I'm more the other side though. I'll put it up close to Christmas and then it doesn't come down till February. Ooh, all right, I might give it a few more seconds just so I can still see people flooding in. Okay, I might kick us off. So hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and I'm super excited to be welcoming you all to another Xero Apps Speed Dating webinar. I'm joining you today from our head office, which is on Gadigal Land in Sydney. We're thrilled to have you joining us for this afternoon's event. We have some really top tier dates lined up for you all today. Who I'll be introducing you to now. So our potential matches, we have Kyung Lee, who is the CEO and co-founder at Owna, the #1 rated childcare management software. We have Stian Horn, who is customer engagement manager at Fathom, the all-in-one reporting, analysis and forecasting tool. And we also have Jessie Paris, who is our customer success manager here at Weel, Australia's leading spend management solution. Now, before I hand you over to your matches, as with any first date, we love this to be a two-way conversation. So please make sure you use our chat function if you've got any thoughts you'd like to drop in as we're going. But importantly, for any questions you have about anything our speakers are talking about, drop that into the Q&A chat that you see down at the bottom of the Zoom panel, because we'll be able to keep track of those more efficiently in the Q&A chat and also answer any questions separately that we might not get to in this session, because we are only giving each panelist 5 minutes. So it will be a very tight run ship. So I will be calling each contestant at 5 minutes. Without further ado, I will hand us over to our first date, Kyung, who is going to give us a 5-minute demo and then a little bit of Q&A about Owna. Kyung, take it away. And we're all going to put our cameras off, so we'll all disappear in a second. We'll be lurking in the background though. Oh, Kyung, you're on mute.
So just quickly, I've just shared my screen. Can you guys see that before I kick off?
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, cool. I've got 5 minutes, so I'll go through as quick as I can, but I'll try to give you as much information as I can as well. So I'm Kyung, founder, CEO of Owna. What is Owna? We're pretty much the most comprehensive childcare management platform here in Australia. So we pretty much do everything for our childcare centre, from invoicing and payments to staffing, rostering timesheets, parent communication, checklist, the list goes on. I won't go through too much details, but what I want to focus on today was the rostering piece, the timesheets, how we manage that inside Owna, and how we push that through to Xero for the pay run side of things. So rostering, how are employees scheduled? So schedule your staff using our childcare compliance-focused rostering system to ensure your roster is compliant, efficient, and cost-effective. So one powerful tool that we have inside the Owna platform is our hours per booking ratio targets, that if you want to create a really efficient roster, we'll let you know how many staff members you require per day. and to achieve those numbers, how many attendances you need to increase your capacity by, as well as reducing your staff hours as well. And I'll show you that bit in a second as well. We roster to the 30-minute level. So what that means is we can tell you how many staff members you require at every half an hour interval so that your center is compliant. So what that means is there's the governing body here in Australia that dictates how many staff members you require per day, per room, depending on how many children are in the center and how old they are and so forth as well. So we've mapped that out here for a center. When they build their roster, they can see that they're super compliant. You can see straight away on the right-hand side, I've got ticks across the board, and every half an hour interval, I'm in ratio, so to speak. Only glaring note is towards the end here. Straight away, you can see it can become a bit hairy if, for argument's sake, a staff member happens to go home sick at the tail end of the day, I'll be out of ratio. So I know straight away, without that day happening, perhaps I might start some staff members a bit later and make them finish a bit later as well. So to satisfy the compliance piece right there. Building your roster is super simple. All you do is go on the platform there. We'll give you a suggestion how many you require per day and how many you require per room as well. Keep in mind, in the childcare settings, they're broken up into rooms. We'll let you know how many staff members you require per room and also for the whole service as well. So pretty straightforward to set up and pretty quick as well. Behind the scenes, we are using some AI machine learning to really hone in on the ratio side of things to let you know, predict rosters for you as well. At the moment, it uses past history. Going forward, there'll be a lot of machine learning AI to really make a cost-effective forecast for your roster. Rostering available in the app for your staff members to see, so they don't have to receive an email or look at a sheet of paper. They can see it straight inside the app here. They can check in and out of work inside the app as well. It's all geolocated tracking behind the scenes. As a administrator, I can see straight away in all my staff members, their timesheets, exactly if they're late, if they've started, if they haven't checked in. I'll be able to see that across the board right here. All that data that we capture will obviously be available for operators of multiple services, for example, here. So you can see at a glance all my centers. If I happen to own a bunch of centers here, I'll be able to see straight away all my centers, where they're located, if they're in ratio, if they're out of ratio. So in ratio is green, out of ratio is red, and over ratio is blue. So we also treat it as if you're over, that's a warning sign as well, because you can obviously make it a cost savings by reducing staff and so forth. You can even drill down to the center level. So at the center level, you'll be able to see straight away. This is at all my centers. This screen here is at the individual service level. I can see straight away, blue, over ratio, green, in ratio, red, I'm out of ratio. So that's a warning right there. I need to fix that up. All the times that we've captured, so staff members are checking in and out at the center every single day. All that time that's been recorded is logged for compliance reason here, but then anything that's changed as well is also tracked so that staff members can't do anything that's inappropriate in the sense that fudge times or whatnot. That's all tracked. All these times that we have here, simply, you don't see this here, but at the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to tap a connect to Xero button, tap that connect to Xero button. What it does there is flicks over to Xero and you have your timesheet put into Xero for you based on the data from Owna, syncing straight into Xero, and from there on, inside Xero, you'll pretty much complete your pay run, pay your staff as you usually would do. So that's one of the integrations that we have with Owna, with the rostering piece, timesheet, syncing all the way into the Xero piece. So to recap, Owna's built a compliant rostering feature to cater for child carer ratios here in Australia. Compliance can be managed at the top level or at the individual service level. Staff check in, check out of the centre and into their respective rooms. All this is logged, which forms the basis for the timesheet. Ability to push the timesheet from Owna straight into Xero to complete the payroll cycle, all managed in the cloud by our web portal or our native iOS and Android apps. So there you go. That's Owna. Feel free to reach out to us. I've got my details there, our URL, my personal email there, my phone number as well. If you want to know more, feel free to reach out. I think I'm within 5 minutes, so hopefully that's not a warning sign.
You are pretty much bang on the 5 minutes, Kiang. Well done. Note that, oh, sorry, frog in the throat. The Q&A chat is open if you have any questions for Kiang. Oh, we do have one come through from Mel. Do you do award interpretation?
We don't do awards interpretation inside Owna. We do have another separate platform called Early that's more focused on workforce management and awards interpretation and all that. With the with the basic sync from Owna to Xero, it's just pretty much time work pushed into Xero.
Awesome. And one more is, how do you get hours to transfer to Xero?
Okay, so if I go back to my previous screen, in here, your staff members are checking in, checking out. So second screen here, I've got staff members checking in and out, whether it's on the device in the center or on their own device. That gets recorded. So time in, time out, also time between different rooms as well. They form the basis of your timesheets here that come through, and then simply that timesheet syncs over to Xero. When I say that timesheet syncs over Xero, it will work out the actual checkout time, check-in time, minus any breaks and so forth, and those hours get pushed through to Xero, and that's what you see inside here.
Awesome. And that is almost taking us up to time, but if you do have any further questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We've got Kiang will stay on the call to answer any questions afterwards as well. And you should have also seen an interactive poll pop up. And if you would like some more information from Owna, please make sure to select the appropriate checkbox in there, and they will reach out to you following. Great. All right. Yep. Thank you so much, Kiang. I will keep us moving because we are running a tight ship today. We are next about to hear from Stian from Fathom, who's going to take us through, again, a 5-minute demo with a few questions for Q&A. So don't forget to pop those questions in Q&A so we can answer them at the end. All right, that's enough for me.
Okay, let's get going. Yeah, thank you, Caitlin. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. So my name is Stian, Customer Engagement Manager at Fathom, and we're a team of business intelligence experts. We provide finance professionals and business owners with solutions that allow them to spend less time on repetitive and time-consuming tasks, while simultaneously helping them gather and share knowledge and insights in ways that their teams and other stakeholders can easily understand and act on. Now, if we have any camping or outdoor enthusiasts among us today, you'll likely nod in agreement when I say that the Swiss Army knife stands as one of the most ingenious creations ever. Imagine having a can opener, a knife, a screwdriver, scissors, and perhaps most crucially, a corkscrew, all packed into one handy gadget that slips into your pocket seamlessly. The convenience? Unmatched. But why to talk about Swiss Army knives? Well, as you might have guessed, Fathom isn't in the business of selling these iconic tools, and I'll doubt will ever be. Yet, the reason I bring up the Swiss Army knife is because, in essence, it shares a common purpose with Fathom's existence. While Fathom might not deal in pocket-sized multi-tools, both the Swiss Army knife and Fathom aim to tackle the same challenge, providing users with an easy-to-use and versatile tool that is designed to assist them in a spectrum of tasks without burdening them with the need to lug around an assortment of specialized tools. Now, finance professionals and business owners have a real problem. They frequently find themselves overwhelmed with repetitive and time-intensive tasks. Think data entry, the tedium of manual spreadsheet-based forecasting, and the grind of monthly, quarterly, or annual reporting and consolidations. The fallout? Errors crop up. The delays become the norm. Visibility into financial performance diminishes, and the precious time needed for propelling business growth or chasing that purpose takes a backseat. It's a familiar struggle, but one that deserves a smarter solution. This is really where Fathom comes in. Your financial Swiss Army knife, if you will, tailored for the dynamic needs of finance professionals and business owners, aiming to shift the focus away from manual time-consuming tasks. Now, our 5-in-1 solution offers crystal clear insights into business performance through visually engaging analysis tools, effortless generation of captivating and clean management reports, swift, flexible, and accurate consolidation and benchmarking of multiple entities, and a powerfully simple yet dynamic and flexible 3-way cash flow forecasting tool. And best of all, it directly integrates with your accounting software, which means you won't have to worry about manual data entry or the potential errors that can occur with a manual data entry process. Currently, over 75,000 businesses use Fathom to bridge the gap between past and future performance, avoid human errors, and reduce the time spent on grinding out analytics, forecasts, or reporting in a range of different software, or as I'm sure many of you are doing today, in Excel. And the numbers speak for themselves. In a recent survey of Fathom customers, we discovered that 98% of our customers gain a better understanding of business performance after adopting Fathom. 89% of customers share results more efficiently with stakeholders, and on average, users save 12 hours each reporting period. And this is only considering reporting. If we factor in forecasting, sharing analytics, or consolidating entities, this number increases to days saved each period. So, if you're ready to revolutionize how you handle financial management tasks, and you're interested in bidding farewell to the grind and welcome the efficiency of a platform like Fathom, if so, I'd like to invite each of you to experience firsthand how our tools can streamline your tasks, save you time, reduce errors, and provide crystal clear insights into your financial performance. As we enter a season where many of us find a bit more time on our hands, I encourage you to seize that opportunity and sign up for a free 14-day trial on our website. It's the perfect chance to discover how Fathom can enhance your analysis, reporting, forecasting, consolidation, or benchmarking processes as we head into 2024. So in closing, Fathom is not just a tool. It's your strategic partner in navigating and simplifying the complexities of financial management, much like the Swiss Army knife is to the average outdoorsman or woman. By saving you time, minimizing errors, and enhancing visibility, Fathom empowers you to focus on what truly matters, driving your business forward. So yeah, thanks for your attention, and hopefully I'll get the pleasure of speaking with many of you very, very soon.
Wow, again, almost bang on 5 minutes. Super impressive timing there, Stian. We do have a couple of questions for you before you jump off. So, and you'll see for our audience members, you'll see a poll pop up there too. So the first one that's come through the chat from Jody is, can Fathom be used for planning for a startup, i.e. with no data downloaded from an accounting file, but just by entering assumptions for income and expenses?
Yeah, absolutely, it can. I think most people will find that a lot of the system is driven off historical data. But if you don't have that historical data ready, direct entry via your assumptions, it will just do as well.
Amazing. And another one, does Fathom integrate with XPM?
No, unfortunately not. So we have a direct integration with Xero, but not XPM, unfortunately.
Cool. And one more. And another one. But I understand the saved hours via quick consolidation. And how does this improve the understanding of the business?
Yeah, I see. So, I mean, the number one way Fathom improves the understanding of the business is through its visualization of a lot of the financial performance. We understand that in a business, a lot of stakeholders don't have the financial literacy to be able to dissect things like a cash flow statement, for example, which is why we have tools available to very clearly illustrate for any business owner or stakeholder to easily understand what's going on in the business without the need of that financial literacy.
Great. Cool. And last one, any Black Friday sales? Sam's asked in the chat.
It's a good question. I think there actually are some Black Friday sales looming as well. So yeah, if you get in touch with me after this as well, I'm happy to tell you a bit more about that.
Wonderful. Alrighty. And that takes us to the end of our date with Fathom. Thank you so much, Stian.
No worries.
So we are now 2 out of 3 of our matches. We are about to hand over to our last match of the day, which is Jessie, who is going to take us through a demo of Weel. Take it away, Jessie.
Tough acts to follow. Hopefully I can live up to a bit of the grind here. Look, I want you to picture this. Effortless expense tracking, invoice management, and really live financial insights at your fingertips. How do we do that? Well, Weel automates the grunt work. So you're not just barely getting past the finish line at the end of the month, but it allows you to focus on moving the business forward. So what's speed dating without knowing a bit about us? We're an Aussie startup. We service tens of thousands of businesses in Australia. We range from sole traders to some of the largest project and service delivery companies nationwide. How do we help them? We instantly issue virtual cards with limits. We have invoice extraction, payment, reimbursement collection and payment, and it's all powered by our in-house approvals. So in 5 words, an all-in-one financial stack. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of whether we might be a fit for a second date. The way I think about it is smart business decisions are based on accurate, timely financial data. Often businesses struggle to get this data because they might be lacking accountability. Staff share cards, which means we don't have visibility or accountability at a staff member level. Now we don't know who to follow up with to finalize or chase up for compliance requirements, and we don't actually know if the spend's legitimate. This can snowball into sunk productivity. Now we're pushing out the month end. We're removing our focus from external projects or tasks that need to remain the priority. And when we push those out, we're really eating into the time that's spent in productive and meaningful ways. It could be in forecasting, it could be management reporting, it could be getting out the next project that's down the line. So it could be lack of accountability, it could be a lack of automation in the tech stack. Having a manual reimbursement claim means that staff are sinking productivity into completing reports instead of their day-to-day remit. And that's if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, staff are just going to store up all of those claims until potentially they exit the business. And you've got a headache organizing approval, payment, and depending on the extent of all the claims, it could be a short-term cash flow issue. So on top of that, we need to factor in staff retention as a whole. Since 2021, employee turnover, it's jumped 2% across the Australian workforce. Some industries have seen their turnover jump, from 5 to 10% over the past 5 years. When we don't retain staff, again, what are we thinking about? We lose time, resources in upskilling, but also specialized knowledge in the business, which is really valuable. So the majority of businesses these days, what I find is they often struggle to enforce financial controls, manage risk, because the legacy systems that were the best available to us at the time don't fit the bill anymore. So if we revise our tech stack, centralize it in one place, what does it look like post-Weel? Well, if you look about accountability, I have a customer that I worked with, Windaring. Through implementing Weel cards, they increase their visibility over purchases at the staff level, and they save roughly about $200,000 a year in questionable spend and overhead costs. All the miscellaneous spend with no receipts was cut out. And how did they do that? Implementing Weel gave them 2 key outcomes. Through being able to see who made purchases, there was accountability on missing tax invoices, made it easy for staff to provide it in the first place. So it meant they were being captured at a higher rate. Weel lets you block cards and re-enable them based off completion of expense reports. So missing tax invoices was no longer an accepted practice, both culturally and it was enforced by Weel. Knowing that spend was attributed to them as a staff member, they had no excuse to provide documentation. So staff were held accountable for purchases made in their name, and it meant all those one-off purchases at KFC for $30, missing receipts, cut out pretty much overnight. When we factor in the time spent to follow up staff to get these documents, that was cut out nearly entirely. So they had a return on investment from that sunk overhead cost as well. With Weel, if you think about lack of automation in the tech stack, again, customer I worked with, Westbourne Constructions, they implemented Weel cards and reimbursements, and they saved roughly a week per month in admin time. Staff who previously had to fill out requests were now doing it in real time. Real-time requests and automated payouts meant there was no lost productivity from either the project teams or the finance teams. My point of contact, Robin, let us know that she actually had better staff satisfaction from end users, but also her junior staff members that were processing the requests. So really, an all-in-one financial stack is what Weel is. We can issue cards, control spend, we can process reimbursements and schedule payment in real time. We can import bills directly from Xero and remove the need to process a batch payment. We can manage your approvals to audit-proof the business. And most importantly, you do it under one roof. And also feel free to fact check me on any of these stories. They're public case studies. I love to be sort of accountable. Think about it that way. So to recap, if you're missing accurate, timely financial data, you might be making business decisions that are out of step with what are needed. So let Weel do the hard yards for you and automate this process. If any of these situations have resonated with you, maybe it's worth a second date by joining a product demo. But what we'll be doing is we'll be sending a follow-up email with a direct link to book in. And also what we'll be doing is, get started. We'll issue a free coffee card to purchase on Weel, obligation free. I always get really positive word of mouth. It's really not too difficult, but really just start to take the first step to enforcing spend policy and making smarter business decisions.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. We have had a couple of questions come through, which we do have a little bit of time for. So how does the batch payment work? If a business pays 10 invoices from the same supplier through Weel, how many payments will they see in the bank account, 1 or 10? That's from Pablo.
So we'll pay out of the Weel bank balance. There will be 10 separate payments, but we do send remittance advice to the supplier.
Great.
We will be condensing those next couple of quarters though.
Yeah, we've got lots happening there. We've got one that would love to know more about the Xero integration. I don't know, Jesse, you want to give a 15-second rundown, but we can also cover that off in a separate conversation, Aaron, as well, because we've got quite an intricate relationship with Xero.
15 seconds. We create a bank feed. All the transactions are matched automatically. You just need to click OK. So reconciliation becomes more of a formality in Xero. You've got source documents all attached to the transactions. It really is quite a smooth process. I used to work at Xero, so I know the process that goes on there. So absolutely, if you're interested, it'd be worth having a bit more of a chat on that one.
Great. So we've got, does Weel have a travel management component?
Travel management, we do have a lot of customers that use us for travel and accommodation. Not travel management per se, if I understand correctly, but I might be making an assumption, Craig. So again, another conversation for us to have.
Yeah, we can answer that. And I think similarly, there's another question from Craig around cards. We talk about cards till the cows come home. So definitely worth a more in-depth conversation. Does Weel integrate with MYOB?
We do with Account Right Online. Even if you're not, you're not part of an ERP or an accounting system, we have ways to get the information into an automated journal.
Cool. And last question, once the invoices are approved and batched into Xero, do they go straight through as approved?
Correct. We'll mimic the stages of bill payments in Xero. So if it's sitting in a draft, it's a draft bill, awaiting approval, approved, paid. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you, Jesse, for that rundown. And as well, speaking of Black Friday sales, we've got some great deals on at Weel at the moment as well. So that are for if you have attended this session, please make sure to mention it on the call within the next week. And we'll have a special deal going for you there as well. So just say, yeah, that you're part of our Xero Apps webinar call and we'll sort something out for you. But that is all that we have time for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I've had a great time getting to learn more about these Xero App partners. So yes, if you do want to relive any of the magic from today, we will be sharing the full recording around so that you can catch up again. Otherwise, we've loved having you. If you've opted in to get in touch from anyone on the call today, they'll be reaching out shortly. But otherwise, I hope everybody enjoys their Thursday night. Thank you.